What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so last night was the second presidential debate of the 2024 election cycle, but the first one in which Kamala Harris, who replaced Joe Biden as the presumptive nominee and then became the official nominee last month, the first one between her and the GOP standard bearer, former President Donald Trump. And in my opinion, the pressure was on Trump to come out here and score a, if not knockout blow, a decisive victory against Kamala Harris. As we all know, Kamala Harris has been perceived as a bit of an empty suit. She's been reluctant to speak on policy. That's been a weak point of hers. Just the day before the debate, that's when they finally put a policy page on her website, as far as her campaign website. And Donald Trump, ever since the incident in Butler, Pennsylvania, when an assassin nearly took his life by mere inches, he's been off his game. That's pretty much the peak of his campaign. He's been off his game. Number one, I think that anybody would reason with this, is that I think he's suffering from some level of post-traumatic stress. There have been reports that he's been watching on replay video of the near assassination. He's been reluctant to be out and about. You know, his thing has always been the outdoor rally. But now, you know, I think he's still holding them, but I don't think they've been outdoor. I haven't really seen a lot of footage of his rallies, but it seemed like a lot of them are more indoor, which is more controlled. So I think, you know, that's affected him. I seen recently a photo of J.D. Vance at an outdoor rally. That's his running mate, of course. And he was behind bulletproof glass. And, you know, I mean, because of the necessities of our society, I understand that, but it kind of takes away from the people's champion populist type approach that Trump has been taking ever since he entered national politics. But anyway, I thought that the pressure was on Trump to take it to Kamala. Okay. She's the incumbent. She's not president, but she's the vice president. And she's part of this administration. So she's an incumbent. Okay. She represents the Biden administration. Trump is no longer in office. He was supposed to go after her on immigration, on the economy, on fracking. You know, he's supposed to go Afghanistan, Gaza. He was supposed to go after her on those issues, and it should have been slam dunks. Well, then again, he's kind of tubby, so at least layups. He's supposed to be layups for Donald Trump. But he failed for debate. And by that, I mean, she goaded him. She knew, and her people knew, her team knew, Donald Trump is so easy to get off his game. He started off trying to be presidential, but his ego, his enormous, super inflated fucking ego. I got the largest crowd sizes. I had the best economy ever. I got the most votes ever. Like, bro, what the fuck does that guy do on anything, man? His ego is what gets him every fucking time. And she baited his ass. She insulted him just enough so that he just couldn't help himself. Excuse me. I want to reply to this. At my administration, we had the cleanest water. We had the best H2O ever. Clean H2O. We had the best economy, the biggest and bestest and brightest jobs ever. And she's a nasty woman. He started defending himself. And he got off his game. And I know all his handlers were watching the debate like, man, what the fuck is this guy doing? What is he doing? So when I was doing my live stream, I yelled because she started talking like she was the outsider. We can't go back. We got to go for we did go forward. Remember? 81 million Americans voted for Biden. Didn't vote for Trump. Well, I didn't vote for anybody, but you know what I mean? As a country, we didn't vote for Trump. Okay? We did move on. The problem is that according to polling, and most Americans don't like what's going on today. But Trump was defending himself like this was 2020. It's almost like she was up there debating as if this was 2020 and she was the nominee. And Trump was defending himself like he is the nominee, is the incumbent. So every time that he even attempted to go after her, she always pivoted and talked about what she wanted to talk about and switched it up to talking about Donald Trump. She just completely didn't answer the questions. And on that's where the moderators were full of shit. Okay? It was 3-on-1 on the debate stage. It was 3-on-1. But you know what? I'm not going to give Donald Trump that out. Some other people might do that. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do that because you knew what time it was. You know what ABC and all these media outlets are. They're in the bag for her. I noticed how when Trump would bloviate on and on and on about nothing, they would tell him, we have to move on, sir. But when Kamala was doing it, they didn't say anything. They didn't reprimand her or try to lecture her on time. They just let her talk. Then the lady, I can't remember her name, when she was supposed to say something to the effect of, Madam Vice President, on issue after issue, on fracking, on immigration, on so many Trump policies, which wound up being popular that you all of a sudden now champion that you were against years ago. Madam Vice President, why have you flip-flopped? No, they said it in a way to kind of give her an out. Madam Vice President, what has caused this change in your policy views? Fuck that! You're not doing no. It was subtle, but they were biased. And now, in my opinion, because of the fact that Trump is perceived to have lost, although it was by no means, I think, a blowout victory for Kamala Harris, but it was a bone opportunity for Trump, in my opinion. Even if you think he barely won, he should have won by a goddamn Reagan tsunami. He should have obliterated her. She's not a good debater. Tulsi Gabbard annihilated Kamala Harris in that Democratic debate years ago. Annihilated her. Ended her campaign. Because it is easy to get under her skin. It's easy to get under Kamala Harris's skin, but it's even easier to get under Donald Trump's skin. And that's another thing about Trump. I'm starting to become more and more convinced now that Donald Trump is showing serious signs of age. And by that, I don't mean that he has dementia, but he's definitely showing signs of cognitive decline. He doesn't have the mental flexibility that he had 8 years ago. When he was debating Hillary Clinton, he was quicker on his feet. he was combative against Hillary, but not outright. Get off my lawn, you dirty. I can't say what I really want to say. He just had this face about him, just like this angry, bitter, vile human being, like that one eye just closed like Ross Perot a little bit, and just like he was twitching with anger, like he wanted to say, "You dirty goddamn bitch! How dare you? You shut up when I'm speaking! Shut up! Shut up! I have the largest crowd sizes ever. You respect me. You respect the Trumpster. How dare you?" And then, when he brought up about immigrants eating pets, now that actually is true. There have been reports of that. But it's one thing to say that on a Republican-friendly forum like Elon Musk or something, but in a presidential debate where people are kind of casuals, it comes across as crazy talk. He should have just stuck to, I'm all for immigration. I mean, most of us, our relatives, our ancestors, I should say, are immigrants. My wife, Melania, is an immigrant. I have nothing against immigration. That's just been a Democratic slur against me. I resent it. But what I have a problem with is a country as a policy letting in millions of illegals, migrants, and many of these migrants, they're committing crimes and they're causing all types of destruction in our country. And this administration is allowing it. And matter of fact, they're encouraging it. And in so many cities in our country, they're committing awful crimes against citizens is not being reported by the left-wing media. And, he should have talked about like what happened in Aurora. He didn't really go into detail about that. He didn't go into detail about what's going on in New York. And he should have went into more detail about that. And you notice the moderators, they kept trying to move away from that. They kept trying to move away from talking about that. And then he blew it on the race thing. Kamala Harris will not say what she is. she wants to be whatever it is to whatever audience. When she's in Detroit, she's speaking Ebonics. When she's in, Arizona, she tries to make little subtle attempts to appease to Latinos. When she's talking to a crowd in Pennsylvania, she's talking in her normal white, well, she's not white, but you know what I mean. She's talking in her normal voice. One minute she's Asian, one minute she's Jamaican, one minute she's Indian, the next minute she's black. It's funny. Barack Obama in 2008 had to give a whole speech detailing his racial views. She don't got to do nothing. Nothing. She's the ultimate token candidate, in my opinion. I'm sorry. She is. She doesn't have to do or say anything of any notable. What's what I'm looking for. She doesn't have to earn any votes. She doesn't. Everything is being handed to her. She was picked for vice president because to appease a certain demographic in the Democratic Party. She was picked to be the nominee because Joe Biden didn't have any worthy heirs. And now people like me are being pressured to vote for her because supposedly she's a black woman. Because now she chooses to be black. Even though she really doesn't have any roots to the American black community. None. She's not married to a black man. She doesn't have black kids. She's used black men to get to power, but then she penalized them and put so many black men and women in prison, but that don't matter no more. And when I say put them in prison, I mean oftentimes under false pretenses and also hiding evidence. But somehow, that's okay because it's black people. Just like how Cardi B drugged black men, but it don't matter when we get fucked over. I'm supposed to just grin and bear it, But whatever. Getting back to Trump, man, he blew it. But this election is not over. Not by a long shot. It really didn't move the needle much. Maybe I would say 0.5%. But there's still about 7 more weeks until election day. So much can happen between now and then. And Trump can still win electoral college victory. Easily. He could easily win all 7 swing states. He could easily win Arizona. He could easily win Georgia. He could easily win North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. I don't know about Minnesota. But you never know. I think Tim Walz will put her over the top there, but you never know. But he could easily win 5 or 6 of the 7 swing states and win electoral college victory. It can happen. But then again, Kamala Harris could win all 7 of them. And Florida. Possibly. Who knows? But anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.